Welcome to Let's Talk About It, featuring a variety of subjects of local interest. This program was pre-recorded, so we're unable to take live calls on today's show. And now, let's talk about it.
Welcome to the Let's Talk About It show. I'm your host, Peter Abbarno, here with the Listeners Choice Award winners. This was a really cool opportunity that the radio station at KELA and KMNT did to allow the folks in our community to choose their favorites. They're the listeners' favorites. And so a really cool opportunity. And today I have Josh Prigmore from Ashen Roberts. Josh, thanks for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
It's really cool to have Ashen Roberts win. They won 3 awards, which is really cool. So you won for cosmetic dentistry, dental practice, and doctor.
Yeah.
Was surprised or not surprised?
No, we were really surprised, I think, just on the general one with the doctor, because that's a pretty broad category. But, man, we'll take it because I believe we got the best doctors around. And I love our dentists, and they do such a fantastic job.
Well, how many doctors do you have at Ashen Roberts?
2, Dr. Ash and Dr. Roberts.
Well, that was easy then. That was probably a pretty simple answer to an easy question, right?
Yeah.
But how many assistants do you have there?
We have a total of 6 assistants, and we also have 6 hygienists and then 4 front office staff.
And where are you guys located?
2409 Borst Avenue, right across from the junior high in Centralia.
Right. And so, I mean, when you get an award like this, for any award in recognition, not from some folks who just vote 1,000 times, but you have listeners who come out of the blue and say, you know what, this is a company or an organization or a person that we really want to recognize. What do you think that is chalked up to? I mean, why do you think Ashen Roberts came out ahead in some of these categories?
I think part of it is we just take the responsibility of being a business here locally. We take that seriously. And, you know, anytime you win an award like this, it's a validation. And as a business, you want to be feeling like you're being a part of the community. You want to feel like you're doing your part as far as contributing. And it's a way for the public to say, hey, we validate you. We're agreeing that, hey, you're doing a great job out there. You know, our goal is to provide excellent dentistry in a comfortable atmosphere with care and respect. And when patients are able to vote for us, that means, okay, we're doing that. We're providing that care and respect. We're treating them how they would want to be treated.
Well, and you mentioned being involved in the community. What are some of the things that Ashen Roberts does in the community that sets itself apart from maybe other businesses?
You know, if you go out to any sporting event, you're going to see our name on it, whether it's soccer or at the hub. You know, you'll see kids out there with uniforms on that say Ashen Roberts, or down at the PAC. You're going to see our name out there because we love supporting our students out there. You'll see us with Miss Lewis County pageant. We've been an active participant in that every year. So you're going to see our name out and about in our community because that's our way of contributing, you know, and thanking our patients basically, and investing in our kids and saying, hey, we're rooting you on. We want you to shine that Ashen Roberts out there, shine your smiles, and present Ashen Roberts because we believe they're all champions.
Well, and I think that business value is really important. My law firm, Althauser Rayan Abbarno, also won Listener's Choice for a number of categories. And it's funny because when we go out on the soccer field with my kids, who also go to Ashen Roberts, but when I go to the soccer fields, you see your company's logo on a lot of these little kids' shirts. And it's a value that, as the community is successful, your business is successful, and you want your community to be successful.
Yeah. No, I think, you know, like I said, it's a way for us to be able to just to honor our community by saying, listen, you have supported us, you've given to us, you've selected us as your dentist. Now, how can we give back to you? And it's some of the best spots are just putting those shirts on kids and supporting them that way, whether it's fast pitch or soccer, or wherever it may be. It's just such an awesome thing to be able to see. And then getting the pictures afterwards, you know, where all these little kids are smiling, and, you know, we see some that are our patients and things. It's like, that's one of the best rewards possible.
Yeah. And you mentioned the Miss Lewis County Scholarship Program. I've been involved in that for many years and very thankful for Ashen Roberts to being part of that. That's another great community event that has generational impacts, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, Dr. Ash's wife, Candace, was a former Miss Lewis County. And so that's a big part. Also his daughter. And so that family absolutely loves Miss Lewis County. But to be able to see these young ladies be able to just to rise and be able to share their talents and their giftings and be a part of our community and being an ambassador for our community, is an amazing thing. So if we can attach to that, that's a win for us.
Yeah, and if you're just tuning in to Let's Talk About It on AM 1470 KELA or KELAAM.com, I'm here with Josh Prigmore with Ashen Roberts. They are winners of Listener Choice Awards for cosmetic dentistry, dental practice, and doctor. And we're talking a little bit about the value of giving back. And one of the reasons why so many listeners voted for Ashen Roberts as their favorite dentist. And we were talking about the giving back, whether it's through sports and through the Miss-Lewis County Scholarship Program. When we're talking about giving, one of the things that's really important to my kids, and I know a lot of your patients as well, what do you give the kids when they get their teeth cleaned?
Oh, they come out with little toothpaste and toothbrush, and they have all the little tools that they need. We've had some really cool things. We've had people donate to us stuffed animals. Mm-hmm. So when kids have a tough time, we're able to give them a stuffed animal. You know, it's little things like that we want to make sure that our youngest patients have the absolute best experience possible, because we know that young patients later on, as they're adults, you know, they're going to still go, hey, you know, going to the dentist wasn't so bad. And they're going to take care of their teeth. They're going to enjoy it, because we know a lot of adults have had bad experiences. We want to start them off and say, listen, we can be a great place for you to come through your entire life. And we're going to treat you with respect. We're going to give it. Sometimes we actually have fun, which is an amazing thing. People actually come and say, okay, that was actually a fun experience for me. As strange as that sounds, you know, we've created those types of relationships with our patients where, you know, they're our friends, they're our family. They come and they tell us about all the things going on in their life. We know what's happening in their lives on a yearly basis, because we see them every 6 months. Mm-hmm. So we know when there's the weddings in the family and the birthdays and all the big events. And so you feel like you're a part of their family. And that's a privilege. And it's also a responsibility that we have with our patients, that we're treating them with that respect, that they know that when they come, it's not just about their teeth. It's about the care and respect that we have for them, and that we love them. We love our patients. And that all comes back for our doctors. Our doctors, that's how they live their lives. And I can't say enough about both Dr. Ash and Dr. Roberts. They exude just that type of personality where they'll drop anything to make sure they take care of their patients. Well,
in small communities like ours, you don't want to be a transactional type office. You don't want to be a one-offer where they come in once and then you never see them again. And hearing about Ashen Roberts building relationships with their patients and making sure they're generational, that the parents maybe went to Ashen Roberts and the kids will continue to go there, is really, really important. So for those folks looking to find a dentist, maybe they're changing their dentist, what would be the statement you would say the reason why they should come to Ashen Roberts?
You know, I think the big thing for us is the fact that where I think we provide a different level of care is just that when you come in, it isn't transactional, like you said. People come in and they realize that they're part of the family right off the bat. From our hygienists, when they first see you, you're going to feel like they truly care about not only just how your teeth are doing, which is important, but they want to get to know you, because we do realize this is a generational thing. This isn't just maybe mom and dad, but this is the kids, this is the grandparents. We see families all the way from the kids all the way to the grandparents, their entire family. And, you know, it's important for us to be able to just provide that level of care. And it's exciting to see that, you know, to be able to see someone's smile change for us is huge. Like I've literally seen people come in where they don't want to smile at all. And then we're able to do the work on them. They're literally beaming when they get out. And so that's what we're all about, is we want to see people's lives changed. And I know that seems strange as a dental office, but we've literally seen people's lives change where maybe they weren't able to eat very well, and so their nutrition wasn't very good, or they just didn't have the smile that, you know, when they were trying to get a job and they couldn't smile and they felt like they were having to kind of pull back from the interview. Now all of a sudden they've got the teeth and they're looking and they're smiling, they're beaming. They're like, and all of a sudden you hear these stories where like it changed their life. And so we don't see ourselves just as, oh, we're just cleaning your teeth, or we're building relationships. We're changing people's lives as maybe that seems like a big thing, but we are changing people's lives in that. And it's an important thing. And being a part of community, that's such a powerful thing. I love this small community, you know, growing up here, and most of our staff has been around here, grown up here. Dr. Ash was my dentist when I was a kid. I wanted to be a dentist early on, and then I wanted to be business, and I ended up doing business for the dentist. But the transactional methods of just care and respect, not of business, but of care and respect that have happened over the years, I think has impacted a lot of people in our community. And I think that's why people voted.
Well, Josh, I want to appreciate you for coming in. And for those who want to get in touch with Ashton Roberts, how can they contact you?
Well, you can always find us on Facebook, but you can go to our website at ashandroberts.com or call us at 360-736-8380.
Well, thanks for coming in, Josh. Congratulations to Ashton Roberts.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're continuing our conversation with the Listener Choice winners, and I have one of my all-time favorites here. I've talked about Dawn and Dawn's Delectables on the show before. Just a great place to go. Now, Dawn's won cookies, dessert, lunch spot, sandwiches, bakery, catering, and smoothies. And for good reason, because she does a great job creating an atmosphere in downtown Centralia with Dawn's Delectables, as well as just serving up some great food and great desserts. Dawn, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Peter.
I mean, how good do you feel that you had all these listeners chime in and say, this is a place we want to go, this is a place we love in our community?
It was very exciting and humbling. I did not even know about the listener awards in the beginning, so I was taken by surprise. And I just am, happy that people see a value in what I'm doing in the community and what I provide. So it's been really rewarding.
And I think that's why sometimes this award, which is the first time KELA and KMNT have done the Listener Choice Awards, it was so special because it wasn't one of those awards where you're logging in every day with 100 people and spreading around. It was pretty more organically done and is a good measure that people love all these things about your business and your restaurant.
Yes, it was really exciting, and just to see what came of it, and to see how many categories we were nominated in, and to see that we were able to win a few of them was just really heartwarming to me.
Well, before we get too far down the road, because I'm going to ask you about a lot of things, including my favorite, bread pudding. Where are you, for those living under a rock, where's Dawn's Delectables located?
We're located in the heart of historic downtown Centralia at 204 North Tower Avenue, right near the Pine Street Plaza.
Right. And so I remember when you started off, it was just the restaurant part and you expanded into a really cool coffee shop. How's that going?
It's going great. We opened up 4 years ago, Memorial Day weekend of 2019, and then we went into the pandemic a few months later, so that slowed us down a little bit. But we've been making ground and just building new customers and a lot of foot traffic coming in, so it's been really good.
And you serve a lot of different types of food. One of my favorites is the tuna salad, which is one of my favorites. And everyone always has their favorite food. So what are some of your favorites that you make at the restaurant?
Well, our carrot cake is what we're known for, so that is really popular. I particularly like the German chocolate cake. As far as food, I really like our vegetarian and vegan options, and the Olympian is probably one of my favorites. It's made with Ole Kraut sauerkraut, and it has a lot of avocado and tomato and things on it, and just a really good sandwich.
Yeah, and it's a great place to go, and it's got a great atmosphere. And I should know, because I'm still buzzing from my quad shot Americano I told you I got before the show. Really great. One of the really delicious items that I hadn't seen before until about a week ago was your peanut butter chocolate oat bar, which is amazing.
Yes, and that's kind of a take on the no-bake cookie a little bit, but we also made it gluten-free by using certified gluten-free oats. So that appeals to a lot of our customers that cannot have gluten, and it's become really popular. We have a hard time keeping it stocked.
I imagine, kind of like the bread pudding.
Yes, the bread pudding is one of the customer favorites, especially the cinnamon bread pudding, which that doesn't happen as often anymore because we don't have as many cinnamon rolls, that are dying. That's what we use to make our bread pudding. So we have to create other flavors and so forth, but it's definitely one of the popular ones. And we just came out with tiramisu bread pudding and lemon bread pudding. Both of those have been selling really well.
Yeah, and it's funny because when big holidays come, Thanksgiving, Christmas, I always see the Facebook post that you make saying, if you want to pre-order bread pudding or desserts, get it in early because I'm going to be baking all night long. So that I imagine you get a lot of these bigger orders like that.
We do, and I have 2 bakers now. I have one that works in the evening and one that works in the morning. And then myself. So there's 3 of us on rotation. And we're just simply getting more volume of orders. So people that were used to ordering, with just short notice, 24 hours, are finding that it's a little bit harder to get those orders in. So we try to advertise and let people know we need plenty of time. Graduations are coming up. We definitely need time because it's filling up fast already for those graduation weekends.
And Dawn, aside from just the delicious, bakery and food and the coffee shop, one of the great things about your business is that you're part of the community. You give back, you volunteer. Talk a little bit about that value you have to improving our community.
It was one of the things that I wanted to do when I came back home 11 years ago, was to be involved in community, to have that sense of belonging and being able to give back to a community that supports me and supports my family and supports those that work for me. So I've, jumped right in with United Way early on, and a lot of other organizations. I donate a lot of baked goods for a lot of dessert auctions, dessert dashes, that kind of thing. And I just really like being a part of it because we are all better together.
You're right. And by giving back into the community, having that type of value, you recognize the fact that you're helping improve your community, and especially in a historic downtown that sometimes gets neglected, right? We always talk about revitalizing our downtowns, but it means investing in our downtowns. And you did that not just in your initial business, but your expansion, which has been successful.
Yes, it has. And we've been super excited to just grow with the community. I think the downtown has kind of ebbed and flowed. And I just think that the best is yet to come. We have a lot of new businesses coming into downtown. We have some that have just recently established themselves in the last few years. And, people always ask me, well, what about, the competition or more? And I say the more eateries we have, the better, because the more choices people have, the more often they're going to come and spend their time and their money and in downtown. And so I think the more we have, the better.
Yeah, and I think by having more places to go downtown, it exposes them to other things. You may not be going to Dawn's Delectables. You may be going to play something, kids' toy store, right? But then you look across the street and down the block and you see Dawn's. You're like, hey, I can go for a coffee or lunch, or you can do other things. You create an event for yourself or your family, not just say one transaction type business.
Absolutely. And we get a lot of people that stay downtown, or they're there for weddings. They're there for actually the Hub City or the Hub Sports Complex. We get a lot of people that come downtown. They're looking for something different than what is offered right off the freeway. So we have a lot of people that come down looking for things. And the more, variety we have, the more diversity that we have, the better it is for all of us downtown, whether you're a retail shop or you provide a service, or if you are a restaurant. I mean, the juice box, insert coin, all of those, they've all been so helpful to creating a vibrant downtown.
Well, Dawn, I appreciate you coming in and sharing a little bit about your business. And just a reminder, Dawn's Delectables won a lot of great awards in the Listener Choice Awards for cookies, dessert, lunch spot, sandwiches, bakery, catering, and smoothies. She does a great job. Dawn, can you tell our listeners once more where you're located and how they can get in contact with you?
Yes, so we're located in historic downtown Centralia at 204 North Tower Avenue. You can find us on Facebook at Dawn's Delectables. We are also on the website at dawnsdelectables.com and Instagram at Dawn's Delectables.
Dawn, thank you for joining us today, and congratulations.
Thank you, Peter. I appreciate it.
Are you curious about buying or selling real estate? If the current market is making you nervous and you're looking for some good real estate advice from a local agent with a proven reputation, I'm Heather Stewart with Blade Realty, and I'm ready to help you. Let's weigh your options so you can make wise choices when it comes to buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Even with the spike in interest rates, there's still a strong housing demand and low inventory. Let's find out how to make this market work for you. For stellar service and all things real estate, find me on Facebook at Heather Stewart Realtor or online at heatherstewartrealtor.com.
When it's more than just your lawn, it deserves the Kubota Z400. Get a head-turning offer on class-leading speed, agility, simple deck height adjustments, and a quality cut. When you need comfort and performance, then you need the professional-grade Kubota Z400. Right now, get the Kubota Z400 mower for 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months, or save $300. Now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
2 great locations. Visit Jennings Equipment, 244 Hamilton Road, Chehalis, or River Road in Puyallup, and at JenningsEquipment.com.
Getting rid of bloat and belly fat is frustrating and can be confusing. We have the answer. Hi, this is Julie Shapley from the Good Health Nutrition Center. Irwin Naturals Stored Fat Belly Burner is a truly unique weight management formula. At the heart of this product is Sinatrol, a powerful ingredient that has been clinically researched for its ability to metabolize stored fat in the body, including stubborn areas such as the belly, waist, and hips. Sinatrol reduces body fat to help you reach and maintain a healthy body composition. Try Stored Fat Belly Burner today and put yourself on the path to a happier, healthier you. You can find Irwin Naturals Stored Fat Belly Burner at the Good Health Nutrition Center on Harrison in Centralia. And remember to like us on Facebook.
Okay, and now back to business.
Listen on the air and online.
Let's talk about it. This program was pre-recorded, so no live phone calls on today's show.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk About It on AM 1470 KELA and KELAAM.com. I'm your host, Peter Abbarno, with another Listener's Choice winner, thanks to KELA and KMNT. We have Dan from Insert Coin, and Insert Coin won 4 really cool categories. They won Family Fun, and my kids should know everything about that. Bar and Grill, which the second part they know about, not the first, but my wife and I know about that. Craft beer and pizza. So Family Fun, Bar and Grill, craft beer, and pizza. And I say that because the really cool thing about Insert Coin is while from the outside, sometimes you look at it and say, this is just for kids. It is not. Adults have as much fun there, and I am proof of that. Dan, thanks for coming into the show and talking about your Listener Choice Awards.
Well, yeah, we're honored that the listeners have come out and voted for us. You know, we're being a new business in this area. We're always excited whenever anything comes up and we win, because we're surprised. It's a fruit of our labor, and we're just in it and we're having a good time. And the fact that other people are having a great time, it's just nice. It's really nice.
So for those folks who live under a rock and don't know where Insert Coin is, tell us, where is it located?
It's downtown, historic downtown, 309 North Tower.
And what is Insert Coin?
Insert Coin was kind of a a thought, basically an idea that both my wife and I had. We were traveling around. We traveled a lot in our old jobs. And we ended up in Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah, and we ended up at this place called Quarters. And it was just a retro bar. It was really cool, really laid-back atmosphere. And it was a Thursday. It was packed. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. I looked at my wife, and I was like, this will work. I think this will really work. I think people will really like this. So then COVID hit. We started acquiring those games and stuff. And then we just kept going. Even through COVID, you know, when the restaurant industry was hit hard and everyone was talking about, you know, there was no lending whatsoever for restaurants. This was 100% on us, and we just kept chugging along. And then we opened up, and we were just flattered and blown away with the response from the community. My wife actually, before the week leading up to it, we were doing like all-nighters, try to get the thing ready, because the Chronicle announced that we were open on a certain day, like a hard day. And it was so much people talking about it. So we're like, oh my, we're really stuck on opening them this day. And so we're sitting there, and we're like, overnight, we're going to have to stay all night, all night doing this, flooring, etc. And then whenever we went to open, my wife, went outside and looked, and it brought her to tears, because, you hope your business does well, right? You hope people come out, and the fact that many people came out on opening day just, took her by surprise, and she was extremely excited. The line was wrapped around the block all the way down by Blarney's and stuff like that. And ever since then, I mean, the community we still have a fantastic, reach, and the community is always coming out. And we're now able to forecast things a little better. I feel like McMenamins has all the data because they're so popular and so big. And I'm like, we're starting to get data. We're very data-driven people, my wife and I. And now we're starting to see our busy seasons and kind of forecast things better. Right. And during our busy season, it's actually really hard to even get in the door. And so we're still blown away that people just love us that much. And we're always trying to add things. And, like our retro selection, we at our 1 year, we flipped it all to free play. And
Dan, I'm going to stop you because you never even mentioned that you have arcade games yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
I'm just excited about the business.
you were so excited that he forgot to share the fact that this is like the best arcade games from today and our youth, right? Yep. And you can play all these games and get burgers and pizza, and there's a craft beer section for adults and a little bar. I mean, it's got, my wife and I have had an appetizer at the bar, and then it said, all right, we're going to have an appetizer, and here, kids, here's quarters, and go play a little bit. You can watch them, and they can have fun, and you can almost have a quasi date night.
Yeah. It must have been a while since you've been in there.
It has been.
He's busted.
It was before the legislative session, so it was probably late last year. So
I got you. Yeah, so we did switch to cards because it was just, we have 2 techs we hired, one full-time and then one part-time. We have an amazing tech here in town that's a local to Chehalis. Everyone knows him. And he's been so nice to be able to volunteer. At first, I was like, I can't have you volunteer. I got to pay you. So we pay him and everything. And he doesn't have to work for us. He doesn't need my money. But we're happy, and we're super happy that he stays around because he has so much knowledge on those old games.
Right.
And so, yeah, we flipped from quarters. The name, unfortunately, still insert coin.
Right.
We do have some
insert card.
Yeah, insert cards. And we just spent so much time just quarter jams, and then in the retro section, there wasn't a whole lot of money made in the retro section, and so on our 1 year, we decided to flip to all free play. So we have about 30 games on free play in the retro section, which to me was the stuff I grew up on, and it was always exciting to kind of like get a new title like Arch Rivals, which is a cool basketball game where you're roughing up.
I was playing Street Fighter in there not that long ago, like last year, and I was playing on your free play, and I'm like, wow, that's a mistake, or I'm lucky because I'm playing Street Fighter for free.
Well, I'm hoping you're buying a drink or something.
Well, and we were there though,
though.
so you used to be able to get quarters and charge cards. Now you got rid of the coins. Now you're just charging the cards, which makes it easier.
Yeah. The only games we don't do that on, and it's a little confusing, is the pinball, because they're collector's items, and we don't like to modify the actual machine for the card reader, because you typically have to drill the door and do the stuff to actually accommodate the card reader. But we do have a token machine. You just scan that card that you got.
Oh, okay.
And it gives you tokens, and you just throw those in the pinball. And
in addition to that, you also have the fun, which is my wife's favorite, skee ball.
Yep, we did change them out. We're looking to flip back. We had the old school skee ball.
Yeah,
and then the new stuff kind of was like, wow, it looks cool. And then we got it, and we're like, it's not so cool. So, but we're gonna flip back. We have we work with Betson out of Portland, and they're a local they're a regional distributor for games, and that's who we typically go out to and say, hey, find me this.
And you also do birthday parties, right?
Yeah, we do have one. That's one of our downsides. We only have one room because during our busy season, we turn away at least 10 parties a day.
Well, it's a hot item. Get them scheduled now.
Yeah, it's wild. So they do book out quite a ways away, especially in the busy season. But yeah, they have party packages with those as well. I mean, the room I think is free if you buy a party package.
Right.
So it's actually a really good deal, and especially if you shop around, kind of see what packages cost elsewhere.
Right.
Not that I'm trying to steal anyone else's business or anything.
But I would be remiss. I mean, we don't have a lot of time, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that one of the coolest things that you have is a robot server. So when you order food and the staff puts the food on, the robot comes to your table and delivers it.
Yep. Some of our servers are a little hesitant to use it, but
the ones that do, I enjoy, because those are cool.
Yeah. I'm always telling them, it's not there to replace anybody. It's there to supplement and kind of help them out. It's more of a it's a
novelty item.
Runner.
It's fun.
So you literally put your food on there, and then the servers have their hands free to grab silverware and do whatever else, and then they can chase it down or meet it at the table and then unload it for the customer. And then send it back, and kids just go crazy about it.
And adults, because I did. I was like, "This is the coolest thing. I want one." It's great.
But when we're looking at location 2, we're going to incorporate that a little more, and try maybe like 4 or 5 of those things going off around at one time. A much bigger facility.
Well, Dan, I just want to thank you for coming in and sharing a little bit about Insert Coin. Again, for those folks who haven't been there yet, where's it located?
It's located historic downtown and 309 North Tower.
Yeah, and insert coin one, best family fun, bar and grill, craft beer, pizza from Listener's Choice. And I just want to thank you for coming in again and congratulate you on your victory and the acknowledgement of a newer business receiving this type of award and recognition is pretty cool. So congratulations.
Thank you guys. Thanks everyone.